Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Paramount may have new owners soon. There's another bidder trying to buy Paramount. YouTube TV and YouTube are getting a new look on their home screen for TVs and smart players. We'll tell you what this new feature does and how it can make browsing a lot easier. And Nielsen wants to help people come out and find content. They're going to sell streaming services your data so they can make better recommendations to you. We'll tell you about this story and a whole lot more here in a minute. First though, if you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. If you want to learn more about any of the stories we talk about, I'll put a link to each story in the first pinned comment down below on this video. Let's dive into it. For months now, we've known that the majority parent company behind Paramount is looking to sell 70% of ownership of Paramount to a new owner. For a while, Warner Bros. Discovery had some talks with Paramount. Those, as of a few weeks ago, have broken down, and that's not going to happen. But there's several other companies out there, including Skydance Media, that have been looking at it, and some investment groups. While now Apollo, the investment group, is now looking at buying Paramount. Now with this, it would come Paramount Plus, the cable networks, the studios, and the like. Paramount is still losing money on Paramount Plus, though they do reportedly expect this year or next year to become profitable with that. We'll keep a very close eye on this. A few things here. There was a lot of talk about like Comcast buying them or Disney. And for now, the major studios, including Warner Bros. Discovery, don't seem all that interested in buying up Paramount. On the flip side here, there does seem to be some good and bad about Paramount. Paramount is struggling in some areas and doing very well in other areas. And they're kind of a microcosm of everything happening in the world of TV. We talk, oh, well, look at this NBC Universal and Disney. They're so big, they're so profitable. But at the same time, many of their studios are struggling. Their cable networks are losing money. Their streaming services are losing money, and other areas. We'll keep a very close eye on this, because Paramount does not have some of the other businesses that like Disney has. Disney has its amusement parks and all kinds of other things. NBC Universal also has its amusement parks, but it's owned by Comcast. Warner Bros. Discovery is just a massive conglomerate of different studios and areas with its fingers in a lot of different projects. Paramount, in comparison, can be kind of small, and that makes them ripe to be sold and taken over. We'll see how this plays out, but let me know. Who would you like to see buy Paramount? Would you investment group? Would you rather see Disney, Comcast, Warner Bros. Discovery? Who would you, if anybody, let's forget about the fact that Warner Bros. Discovery has already said no. Who would you want to have buy that network? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, if you're a YouTube or YouTube TV viewer for smart TVs, your player is going to look different. YouTube is rolling out the ability for you to put your current video, either on YouTube TV or YouTube, into like a 3/4 block here. So it'll be like on 3/4 of your screen will be the video player. And then on the 1/3 other side, you'll be able to browse things like comments, likes, subscribe, other details about the video. For YouTube TV, you'll be able to do things like see stats, key plays, scores, and the like. While you're watching your show. So no longer will you have to back out of your show and have it covered by a menu to kind of scroll through comments and other areas. This new feature is rolling out to smart TVs and streaming players. They did not announce which ones would get it first and how fastly this will roll out. I've already heard some people say they see it on their TVs. Others do not at this time. I suspect that this will roll out in the weeks to come. But leave me a comment, let me know, have you seen it? What do you think of this? I actually really like this idea of 2/3 of my screen being, if I decide to go into this mode, 2/3 of being the video, then 1/3 being things like I can check the comments and similar links there. Now, by default, it still goes full screen. I can already hear people saying, I hate this. Good news, it just goes a whole full screen by default. You have to back into this mode if you do want to check the comments while you watch a video, for example. All right. Generating recommendations for what people want to watch is harder than you think it is. Everybody's uniquely different, and they sometimes result in weird recommendations. So you would probably think, I don't care anything about this Luke guy talking about cord cutting and streaming media. Well, Nielsen now has come out with a service out there called Gracenote that will sell TV data, streaming data to streaming services both for free and paid services, and allow them to build better recommendation systems based on viewership data, probably including yours, and other data out there with this. This is one more way Nielsen's trying to stand out there. Increasingly, their model of just telling people who's watching what show is becoming less and less accurate, because things like Sling TV, Hulu, Disney Plus, and others can accurately have reports and data, probably more accurately than Nielsen. Now, Nielsen has partnered with several streaming services to help them track viewership and data there, and now they are using that to sell back to different companies so that they can give even better recommendations on what they think you should watch. So, no word on what streaming services are partnering with them on this, if there is any yet, but if this goes through, you should see better recommendations for movies and television shows on streaming services. All right, if you're looking for a deal, Amazon really wants you to upgrade your Fire TV or Fire TV Cube. They have deals still going on, including the new Fire TV Stick 4K Max at its lowest price ever. Right now, you can get the Fire TV Stick 4K Max at $39, the Fire TV Stick 4K at $29.99. Both these are 99 cents at the end, and the Fire TV Cube for $114.99. Very good stream players, very good pricing. If you've been thinking about doing it, maybe a good deal. Could it be cheaper later? Sure. When? Your guess is as good as mine. You could wait a year and then maybe not get a better deal. But link in the show notes if you want to find that. That's our deal of the day. All right, space. Starlink from SpaceX is going to be getting faster with more reliability. The FCC has approved its request to use something called the E-band. Now, this is a set of spectrum that SpaceX has been able to use, but hasn't been authorized to use. Now, this new spectrum will allow lower latency and more support. This will work on the new second-generation satellites that reportedly can handle 4 times the amount of data. And that's important. So 4 times the amount of people streaming Netflix, playing video games, checking their email, without slowing down or being clogged up. As Starlink becomes more and more popular, more and more people are using it, this is going to become more and more important. And this comes as SpaceX is continuing to launch their second generation mini satellites that they believe will dramatically improve speed, reliability, and reduce congestion that slows down their network. This E-band basically allows a lot more data to go between the satellites and the backbone and down to ground stations to dramatically speed up the service. Keep a close eye on this. SpaceX has been doing a very good job in recent months of improving. They had a little while where they were overwhelmed and getting a little clogged. And with these new version 2 satellites and the reported version 3 that's in the work right now, they will be able to handle far more data there. Which for you, I always get this, well, I don't care, Luke, I got cable, I got fiber, I got this. That's great for you. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have that. Even if 90% of Americans can get fiber or cable internet with gig speeds, that still leaves millions of Americans unable to do so. And that's where SpaceX comes in and brings competition. We'll keep a very close eye on this, but let me know, any SpaceX Starlink customers here? Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, Zapper Box, one of the ATSC 3.0 decoding boxes. This is a box that can decode the ATSC 3.0. You connect your antenna to the box, then through HDMI you connect it to your TV, and you're watching ATSC 3.0 channels. Now, this is also built in DVR. One of the big complaints about it has been, well, the DVR works for ATSC 3.0 channels that are not DRM encrypted, and for ATSC 1.0 channels. If the channel has DRM on it, it did not allow you to DVR the program. Now, with a software update that they've announced coming in April, you will now be able to, starting on April 8th, current target date, subject to change, be able to DVR DRM content. Still not a fan of DRM on over-the-air television, but Zapper Box is rolling out slowly updates to make it a little less annoying. Anybody here own a Zapper Box? Leave me a comment, let me know. I'd love to know what you think of it. If you're a fubo customer, live within the MASN Sports Network, Manson? How do you say that? Is there like a way to say it other than the MASN Sports Network? It's a regional sports network that will be offering games from Baltimore Orioles and Washington Nationals in a 7-state area, is now available or will soon be on Fubo. If you have the right package, this will give you over 500 live events annually, including college Division I men's and women's sports. It's one more RSN network now available on Fubo. Fubo is one of the few live TV streaming services to offer RSNs. One of the big things a lot of people say is they're very expensive, but very few people actually watch them. Let's dive into the question of the day. If you ever have a question for me, I need questions. Leave me a comment. Start it off with something like a question for Luke, so I know it's something you want me to answer here. But I get this question a lot. And in 2024, what is the best streaming service? YouTube TV, Hulu, Fubo, and the likes for live TV services. And the very truth here is it depends on you. For example, if you're a sports fan, you're probably going to want something like YouTube TV, Fubo, Hulu, and the likes, Sling TV. If you're not a sports fan, something like Philo or Friendly may give you all the channels you're looking for. It really depends on you, and that's the great thing about cord cutting. It used to be, when we had cable television, you would have 3 or 4 packages from cable, satellite, if you lived in a place you could get satellite, and that was like it. You had these 3 or 4 packages, and if you ended up, I remember this, I wanted the Big Ten network, well, that meant you had to get this expensive package to get the Big Ten network. Well, now, we have 7, 8 options, even more if you want to count in cable and satellite. We got Sling, Hulu, Fubo, Friendly, Philo. The list goes on and on of free and paid streaming services with this. That's a great thing. Now, what's best is what's best for you. My suggestion is this. Sit down at your table with your family or whoever you're living with that's going to have a say in which service you're paying for. Write down channels that are absolutely must have. For me, it's some of the sports channels. I absolutely want to make sure I can watch my college football come this fall. If I don't get the Hallmark channel or some news channels, I'm probably not that really concerned about it. But I want to make sure I can watch my Big Ten football, basketball, and the like. You probably have a different list of channels you want. Write them down and then use that to compare to the different services. I'll put a link in the show notes, a breakdown of all the major live TV services and what channels they offer to help you decide which one's right for you. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think of those and what one you decide was right for you and why. But be respectful. Just because it's right for you does not mean it's right for me or somebody else. And that's the great thing about cord cutting. We all get to build our own package. No longer do we have to have a cable TV company tell us what we want. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Hopefully we help you save some money. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.